One. Hey, it's Rob Rush, and we've been playing a song here on 94.3 The Shark for the last few months that I say kind of harkens back to the 90s days of grunge. And we've had a few bands that seem to be going back to that style. I think Tim Montana's new record sort of sounds like a 90s record. Of course, Return to Dust, and this gentleman from Buffalo that is here, probably very excited about the new stadium. Please welcome Ryan Perdz. What's going on, Ryan?
Hey, thanks for having me.
No problem, man. So I was just saying, off of the air that well, you have a new album, that's going to be coming out, which is going to be featuring the single that we are playing, Sour, and that's due to come out on August 14th, called Can't Cry. And tell me about yourself, man. Buffalo, so I'm guessing you're a Buffalo Bills fan.
Yeah, we got the new stadium going up.
Yep, yep.
I guess tickets are really expensive for it, so I probably won't be
Well,
going.
maybe you might know some people by that time. You never know. And you're what? You're only 24, right?
I'm 25.
25. Oh, I know you're
Mhm.
so old now. Quarter life crisis is coming. Watch out.
Yeah.
How does a kid like you, because, a lot of 24, 25-year-olds, they seem to rock. I don't want to say is a dirty word, but it's not where it was with the sound that you're making in the 90s. People still like it, but, the charts are now dominated by hip hop or pop. So, how did you get into all this music, like the Chili Peppers, Nirvana, Led Zeppelin? Did you have older siblings?
Yeah, I have three brothers that are a lot older than me, so they were always playing Nirvana, Foo Fighters, Red Hot Chili Peppers when I was really young.
Yeah. And what would you say? What about Soundgarden? Because you get a lot of comparisons to Chris Cornell. How does that make you feel to be, your age and people are comparing you to one of the greatest singers of that genre?
I mean, it's an honor for sure. I mean, Chris Cornell's, I would say, top three vocalists ever in rock music, not even just grunge, just in all of rock. So of course that's an honor for sure. But he's one of my favorites. I actually didn't get into him until I was like in high school. Like
Mhm.
sadly, like when he died was kind of when I really got into him, which is cool because it unlocked a lot of things that I could do. Like I never really wanted to just play acoustically by myself. I always wanted a band, but then after seeing him go on those tours just with his acoustic guitar, I was like, I'll start doing that. And then I kind of depended on myself a lot more. And then I got things going as a solo artist rather than a rock band at first.
What's the music scene like in Buffalo now? Because I know it's always had a very distinctive scene. There's been a lot of cool bands that have come out from that area. So what's the scene like now?
I mean, there's a lot of talented people coming out of here. People really like music around here. Goo Goo Dolls came from here,
Mhm.
drummer of Weezer.
Rick
People
James.
love, yeah, Rick James too. Yeah, people really love music. They love to support everybody, each other here. It's a great town.
And so are you excited? I mean, the saying is that you have your entire life to write your debut album. So what can people expect when Can't Cry comes out on August 14th? How much of a labor of love was it for you?
It was a really fun experience doing this album. This album's my first like collaborative effort. I worked with a producer on this. All my music prior, I was just recording in my home studio, like in my room, just on Logic and stuff. And then I worked with Sam Hollander on this record. And people do say it takes your whole life to write the first record, but I was releasing music too
Mhm.
prior. So yeah, I just kept doing my thing. It's really just it's how I usually write songs. But if people like my music before, I think they'll really like this one. It's just on the next level of production. I had more people to work with and more opportunities to make a different sound. It's more modern rock with inspired by grunge. It's not really just an ode to grunge completely,
No, no,
which
not at all. I've heard some of the other
mhm,
tracks, and yeah, but I mean, there's the style and the influence is there. Yeah.
yeah, for sure. I love to, show my appreciation for the guys that inspired me for sure. It shows in all my music. And the lyrics too. I think my lyrics kind of do give a nod to the grunge guys as well. Kind of the same type of, I don't know, meaning to each song that I have. It kind of reflects grunge as well.
Yeah, I was saying to one of the other guys that's here because we've been doing this for a while. I was on a station that I got my start probably I don't think you were even born yet. The late
Mm.
90s, WLIR, and that was known to be like the grunge station early in the 90s, and it was a legendary station. And we were saying that now I don't want to say that everything sounds the same, but there's a lot of bands and there's a lot of stuff that I hear that kind of has like that same sound where it's like either, it starts off and they're singing, then they scream, or it's kind of got all this interplay of electronic, breakdowns in there. But when you hear your stuff, it sounds different. And I don't know if anybody else has ever told that to you, or is it just me that's kind of said like, this kid is coming out here and it's got a familiar sound, but a different sound nonetheless.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I try to have it so I can play it as a three-piece live. I try not to put like 1,000 guitar layers in it.
Yeah.
Kind of like Nirvana, how they were a three-piece, and when you saw it live, it was just as powerful as when you listen to it on the record. Even like it was a three-piece, and that's crazy that they could actually pull that off
Yeah.
watching Nirvana live. So I would like to think that I could do that live, but that's not really up for me to say. It's up to the audience. So
Well, let's talk about live because you're going to be coming to our area October 20th. You're going to be at the Paramount in Huntington, which is an amazing venue, and you're going to be opening up for Daughtry, and you're going to be opening up for Daughtry on the whole tour. So tell me about that. How excited are you for that? Is this going to be like, I guess, your first major tour?
yeah, first major tour, and it's his unplugged tour, so it'll be acoustic vibes for that. So I'm excited. Me and the band haven't really tried to taken a stab at acoustic yet, so we're gonna be working on that. I mean, it's easier than I probably won't be soloing as much. It's a lot less pressure on my guitar work for sure, so it'll be fun.
Now, besides the originals, are there going to be any covers that you would throw in, that highlight the influences that you have?
Yeah, like on the last tour, someone yelled out like "Black" by Pearl Jam, and I played it. Like I'll still play the grunge stuff, but I don't really go out and just straight up play the '90s stuff covers. I do "Old Man" by Neil Young
Neil Young, yeah.
cover, and then the Chris Cornell style cover of Billie Jean.
Oh, okay.
I do that,
That's really cool. You know
and
what I
then I
wanted to ask you? Because like, not to say that you came out of nowhere, but I know you utilize TikTok a lot. So, all the guys that I know that are in bands, they're all from like, the bands in the 80s and 90s. So they're used to the old school way of back then sending out a tape or a CD or even an MP3. And I think because I don't really go on that platform all that much, but TikTok is known for, being more utilized for pop acts and for rap acts. So how does it work for you, or how did it work for you with the rock genre?
I mean I wanted to say I also just released "Time to Pretend" to cover MGMT.
Oh, really?
I also did just release that. Yeah, I forgot to mention that's probably the most important thing to mention. But yeah, so I released that one just like a week or two ago. But yeah, being rock on TikTok, it's interesting because I started in 2020, and just like you said, it was all rap and pop artists on it. So you really have to find a niche, and then once it works, you got to just stick with it. Like it's tough to be a rock musician on TikTok because it doesn't really pander to the dancing
Hmm.
or whatever. But nowadays there are more niches. I've noticed, like also with like festivals and stuff, there's a lot of niches, and on the radio, you listen to the radio. If you like a certain type of rock, you can find it nowadays, which is cool. Like as you said before, Return to Dust and stuff like that. There
Yeah.
are new bands that make music of whatever you like, but yeah, I would say if you're trying on TikTok as a rock guy, I would just see what works for you and just stick with that. Don't try to copy the pop people because it doesn't really mix, doesn't translate.
Mm.
It's got to translate and resonate with people. It's got to have the same vibe. You can't just lip sync and maybe do like a little dance to a grunge song. It doesn't really
No.
work like that unless you're
You could
like Brad.
try, but I don't know
Yeah,
how well it'll look.
unless you're like Brad Pitt or something, then. But yeah. So yeah.
Well, that's good, man. And then again, Ryan, his new album is going to be coming out on August 14th called Can't Cry. He's going to be at the Paramount in Huntington opening up for Daughtry this October 20th. We'll have some tickets to give away, and we're going to try to do some sort of meet and greet for some listeners for you prior to the show. And I guess, you've been going through a lot of whirlwind of positivity over the last few months. Have you been out and met anybody that's kind of idolized you, or that I should say that you've idolized that said nice things about you that you were surprised at?
I mean, Daughtry saying I could open for him is pretty cool. I haven't really met anybody yet. I'm trying to think. I would say the biggest thing is Daughtry.
Dot.
Daughtry,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, they say be careful you don't meet your heroes, but I think there'll be a lot of people that kind of dig you, and I enjoy what you're doing, man, and I hope that nothing but the best happens for you, and we'll be promoting you and playing your stuff, and of course talking about the show on October 20th here on Long Island. So Ryan Perdz, Can't Cry is out on August 14th. Make sure you get it, and you're listening to his song Sour here on the Shark. So make sure you check that out as well.
Awesome, man. Thanks for having me.